What's up guys, been working hard, haven't been able to update you on exactly where we're at. Putting final touches on it, fixed the alternator, got it pretty close, still got to paint that. I was putting the Z-bar on, we went ahead, started the engine as you've seen, broke it in actually today, and went to hook the Z-bar up after I spray painted it, and started jacking it up, and of course, there's a little oil spot underneath the back, between the motor and transmission area-ish, so that's great. So I decided to jack it up and try to see what was wrong, and it looks like we have a rear main seal leak. I don't know exactly if that's the case. Maybe the pan's just not tight, or something come loose, hopefully. See what's going on, and we'll let you guys know. Well, after further examination, we did not have a leak. The cleanup guy didn't clean up the oil from the other night when we did the oil pan deal. So that was just leftover oil, and he didn't clean the bottom of the block either. So anyway, we went ahead and put on the Z-bar, we climbed underneath, got all of it hooked up, and now the clutch won't release. So I don't know exactly what the problem might be at the moment, but it is 10 o'clock, and I've been up way too late the last few nights. We're gonna go ahead and call it a night. We'll be back at it again tomorrow. Hopefully we figure this thing out, and we'll be back, hopefully driving this thing. So we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Alright guys, with a little further examination of the car, it's making a little bit of a grinding noise, like something's rubbing up against something, and I believe it's the clutch. So I thought the clutch would only go one way because it was offset, but I think I have managed to do it the opposite way that it's supposed to. Springs in the clutch is actually rubbing up against the flywheel bolt. Now we're going to have to take the transmission out. We're going to go ahead and start taking this thing out and hopefully get this thing fixed because we're ready to drive it. Hang with us. We'll get this thing going just here in a few minutes, hopefully. You want to try to let it down on the jack?
No, let's just pull it out, let her down. Get it hold one side and I'll get it hold this side. Is there a crack in between her?
No.
Oh, just come on out there. See if you can get something in there brown a little bit.
You want the 4-foot pry bar?
What in the world could be holding it? It's not, the transmission's not, it's the jack shaft's hung on something.
Yeah, it's in a bind.
It moves a little bit then, and you gotta separate now though. Alright, now let your jack down and let's see if it'll wiggle.
I think we still need to pull it out over that lip up in there.
There's no lip there.
Yes, there is. There's a little round surface that slides in there.
I know that, but we're past that.
No, we're not. It's still in the transmission. Just hold up.
There, now it's out. Okay, now
I'm gonna let it down just a little bit.
Alright, now we got it. It's coming out now.
Alright, I'm gonna let it down some more. Should come off. Here, grab it side.
That clutch is not centered up.
Well, how is it centered up?
I don't know. Where's that jack shaft at?
It's over here.
It was sitting over in the floor.
Where? Where at?
I don't know. It was sitting over in the floor. I just knocked the camera over.
Are you serious?
Is it on?
Yeah.
Oh man. right in, didn't it?
Yeah.
So it's lined up. I thought it went. I was pretty sure it had to be lined up because
I mean, it would have to be
the
lined up.
jack shift and the transmission went in it.
Yeah. Well,
But anyway, we got to take it off and see if the clutch. I don't know what. I don't see anything out here that was rubbing, making that noise.
alrighty guys, we got the transmission out now. And we have figured out our problem. So the flywheel bolts are hitting the spring on the clutch. So here's the springs. This will only go one way. I'm going to show you. See how it sticks out a little bit on that side, and then that side is pretty flush. The side that doesn't stick out has to go one way because you want it to lay flat. Then your pressure plate lays on this. When you release the clutch, you're supposed to freewheel. It can't freewheel because it is rubbing the bolt. I don't know how well you can see that, but it is rubbing the top of the bolt. So now we're going to have to take this to the clutch shop here local. We're going to go let them check it out. And hopefully tomorrow we'll be putting this back together. But we literally took it off of this engine and put it on a different engine. Don't know why it worked with that engine. Don't know why it doesn't work with this engine. But apparently it doesn't like this one. But anyway, that's going to be it for now. We'll be back again tomorrow for Groundhog Day. So we'll see you then. What's up guys? It's been a couple days. We got our clutch kit back. We actually left it over at the clutch place. He rebuilt our pressure plate. He turned our flywheel and he ended up giving us another clutch that was a little bit more offset. So now hopefully it won't rub. But the only thing we could figure out is the clutch was just wore out enough to where it had started rubbing on the flywheel bolts. We got a clutch, it's got pucks on it, so it's a little bit better than stock than what we had. Stock, it looked like this on both sides. All right, so we got two bolts in here, and he showed me this too. Take a penny, put a penny on top, take the clutch, lay down on the flywheel, and turn it. And it doesn't knock the penny off, so we at least have that much of clearance. I measured it out with a shred edge, and it shows that we got about a 1/4 inch between the springs and the head of the boat now. So we should be good. Looks great, they did a good job. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and slap this thing back in here. Let's get to work, get this thing done. I went to put the throwout bearing on the clutch fork, and I found out that the clutch fork is broke. There's little ears that go right there and there. They're supposed to hold the bearing out and hold pressure on it so it can't really flop around. But luckily, the clutch place where I just had went was open today. They had a new clutch fork. If you look right here, see how they hold up on the bearing, and then this one over here doesn't. It's just flat because they're broke off. Anyway, we have our fork now. We're ready to go. Hopefully here in the next few minutes, we're gonna have this transmission in. Let's get after it. So guys, as you saw, we got the transmission back in. It still wouldn't go in gear. So I took and adjusted on the linkage a little bit for the Z-bar, cranked as much into it. It's hitting the firewall now. So I don't really know why the clutch is not releasing. So we're probably gonna have to take the transmission back out tomorrow, unfortunately, for us, because I didn't want to do that. So we're a little bit behind schedule. It's just been a nightmare ever since we put the new motor in. So hopefully we'll figure something out. What's up guys? So good news, we got the transmission finally fixed and put in. It is moving under its own power now. Don't really know what to tell you what was wrong with it. The only thing I can think is when I put the pressure plate and stuff on, the fingers weren't seated right, and I didn't seat the pressure plate right. Anyway, they touched now, so that's good. We got a few things we're gonna do, a little bit nut and bolt kind of sort of thing, and then we're gonna put a new breather on this thing, and hopefully tonight we're gonna drive it down the road. Anyway, we're a little over a week away from the show, where we're actually gonna be racing this thing at the Street Rod Nationals. So I'm pretty excited about that. I had a blast last year, and now we're gonna have a little bit more motor, so it'll probably be more fun. You know, the way I look at it, you know, 800 horsepower versus 100 horsepower with a wore out 305. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into it.